Before we start today's video, check out our merch shop, linked in the description down below. Use code ahsoka in all caps to get $7 off your order. May the force be with you, and enjoy the vid.
Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we are going to be discussing some rather problems or unfortunate news for the upcoming Star Wars Skeleton Crew that some sources and some fans have been discussing and talking about in the recent. Of course, we're going to go ahead and we're going to hop right on into it, break it all down for you guys, everything that we know, everything that we're hearing, and everything that we're anticipating right now. Before we do though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. Okay, so in this video we are going to be taking a quick read from ScreenRant.com. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there, as well as an overall garnering source. So as I kind of mentioned there briefly in the prologue there, Star Wars' next TV show has one massive problem that's pinpointed in this article from the start, from the get-go here, that this show very well may have, in its way, essentially. I, for one, as a personal thought and opinion, feel that this is premature. The show's not even out, and it feels like that a lot of sources are already running into with what went wrong with The Acolyte, is where you had a lot of these sources and a lot of these different fans, really, just discussing and talking about and kind of making those premature decisions based upon a subject before it was really even out. We don't even have a trailer for Skeleton Crew, and we already have some fans out there and some sources, as I had mentioned out there, that are kind of already discussing and trying to just pinpoint and bring out the worst out of these projects. Of course, it's something to discuss in another time, in another video here on the channel at a later date, in more detail and in more depth. It's all the more reason to grab that subscribe button, of course, but projects, regardless, TV shows, movies, are always going to have flaws, and they're always going to be, good. They're going to have the good and the bad, and it kind of depends on how you want to view it, essentially. Anyway, so in this video, as I had mentioned, we're taking a quick read from ScreenRant.com. Their article reads that the Star Wars' next upcoming TV show, Star Wars Skeleton Crew, will have to face one major problem before it even premieres. Star Wars Skeleton Crew has been billed as something new for the Star Wars universe, of course, different from what's been produced for Disney Plus so far. Let it do also mind you though, however, it takes place in that post-Return of the Jedi era in the Mandoverse, though it is set during that New Republic era, and one familiar phase from The Mandalorian Season 3 has already been confirmed to appear, being Vane from the Pirates. Skeleton Crew isn't centered around the conflict between the New Republic, the Imperials, and the Mandalorian, or the Jedi. Instead, it's more of a coming-to-age tale, inspired by films like The Goonies or E.T., etc. So really that in itself is already a huge thing to consider, is that it's a coming-of-age story. It's not something that's more or less garnered towards or marketed towards the same audience that maybe Lucasfilm is going after, the same fans that watch Ahsoka, essentially, or maybe, the Book of Boba Fett or The Acolyte for another, or Andor. They're kind of all marketing towards and trying to get at different types of audiences. It's how you grow a franchise, and it's how you keep it fresh, I think, all at the same time as well. If for anything, I'm all for it. That being said, Skeleton Crew being highly described as this coming-of-age tale, essentially, means that it's entailed for kids, believe it or not. I think let alone it having a majority of a kid cast, I think already says enough about it. As such, Skeleton Crew is an exciting prospect for the Star Wars franchise. New characters, new conflicts, new swaths of the Star Wars galaxy that are all there for the taking. As Star Wars' official synopsis has revealed, Skeleton Crew will see four determined young kids try to make their way home in a dangerous galaxy, led by Jude Law's mysterious Jedi-like character. There seems to be plenty of room for creative freedom within Skeleton Crew's storytelling as well, but the show's future will, however, be restricted by one key factor. That is, it appears that it simply has taken Lucasfilm too long to have released Skeleton Crew. And as another, kind of pinpoint, backtracking real quick before we move on to this next point, to the fact of that the promoting and marketing for Skeleton Crew is going to begin ramping up rather fast here. I think after the D23 event takes place next weekend from the 9th to the 11th, that's probably also where Lucasfilm is looking to release the official trailer for the project as well. We're going to see a lot of promoting and marketing for the show. show, and a huge emphasis that they have to have on that is the fact and idea of that it's marketed towards kids. So anyway, continuing on here, is of this other idea, it's taken Lucasfilm simply too long to have gotten around to Skeleton Crew. Because for those of you that are fans of the channel and that have just been following, I think, in general Star Wars news, is the fact of that Skeleton Crew was originally supposed to premiere last year, last December of 2023, and it never came about. And now we're finally catching wind of it, and that it is finally going to be releasing December 3rd with its first episode premiere on Disney+. But point being is that Skeleton Crew was initially announced by Lucasfilm in May of 2022. Though very few details were released at the time, it was confirmed that filming on this new Star Wars project had wrapped on January 22nd of last year, 2023. As a teaser trailer was shown at Star Wars Celebration of last year as well, and understandably, audiences and Lucasfilm themselves believed that Skeleton Crew would be released in 2023 as well, though in the end, it was pushed back by Ahsoka and the Acolyte, and other key factors such as the actors strike I think that was going on also plays a big role into that. Having Lucasfilm wants Jude Law to be able to promote and talk about this show, so I think that's another reason that they kind of held off on it, but also not wanting to oversaturate. We just were coming out of the Ahsoka show around November, October, so jumping into another Star Wars show a month later would have maybe been a bit much, now admitting it and looking back on it. So now it is not necessarily rumored, but now confirmed at this point in time that Skeleton Crew is finally going to be releasing in this year of December 3rd. This meaning, though, however, is that Skeleton Crew will be released nearly 2 years after its production was finally finished. Of course, I know and understand there's a lot of VFX and post-production work to do on it, of course, so I think for anything it sets the bar a bit higher on for how a lot of those special effects will come out and turn out, although the production did use a lot of practical as well. This wouldn't be a massive issue, as such as their article continues to read, if it weren't for one stumbling block: the cast. The 4 children actors involved in the show will have grown a great deal since the production has been complete now that was 2 years ago. Shows like Stranger Things and Percy Jackson and the Olympians have had to deal with this logistical issue too, as well. And at this point, Lucasfilm has waited a bit too long into that regard to release Skeleton Crew and being able to get on to a second season, at least one with the same cast. It seems incredibly unlikely, if not impossible. So that being in mind, I'd like to discuss it in a separate future video here on the channel in more detail and in more depth, but it seems that Skeleton Crew is simply going to be a one and done, which honestly I'm fine with, seeing that we'll probably see these characters pop up in other Star Wars medium, in Ahsoka Season 2, in future seasons of the Mandalorian movie, of course. There's a lot of other prospects for them as well. By which, I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.